Hi, it's Dan here with Managing Digital. Before I start, please hit the subscribe button and like and all that good stuff. It helps others to learn about what I'm trying to help them to learn. And today, that lesson is about a call I just had from a friend of mine who is a consultant working with a large client that has asked him to help them with application portfolio management. What does that mean? Usually that means we have all of these old applications in our IT shop, and we need to get control of that because some of them may be at risk for security reasons, some of them may be at risk for ancientness reasons, and they're going to go out of support, or they will just stop someday and no one will know how to get them started. Or we have 5 of that and 10 of this, and it doesn't make any sense, and we're spending too much money. These are the kinds of things people do APM work for. So if you're the enterprise architect and you're asked to do that, what's the first thing you do? It is not start making a lot of catalogs about everything you can think of, which is what his client has been doing. It is not go on a course about enterprise architecture tool that you bought 2 years ago and still haven't figured out how to use. No. This is why I do TOGAF training, because when I was less bald and less gray, I observed very large projects crash and burn and take thousands of people down the hole with them because people don't understand how to do this fundamental management of complex change, which is what enterprise architecture is about. That's why I do TOGAF training, to help people understand the right approach, and it is not to answer the question by running up to your office and starting to draw a lot of pictures, making gigantic spreadsheets, drawing and drawing and drawing. Oh, no, it's not what it is. The first thing you do is you find out who's asking the question and why. You understand the description of the problem, and usually that means you help that sponsor or requester to describe more carefully exactly what they think is wrong with the way things are today, because usually those requests are either, I don't like this and it doesn't work very well, which isn't useful, or it's, we need to change the data structures behind this. Also not very useful, because what matters is what is the enterprise trying to achieve that is supported by technology that isn't working in a way that they like, or sometimes what are they trying to achieve that should be supported by technology but isn't? And how do we close the gap between whatever's going on now that they don't like to change things so that they get the future which they do like? And you start doing that by asking them, what is the problem that you would like us to look at? And helping them to describe that at a level of detail that is very specific, very clear, and makes it very easy to understand, if we make some changes, what should the outcome look like? That's what enterprise architecture is about. That's what TOGAF architecture development method cookbook information is about. It's about how to do that, how to engage with people in a way that we actually understand very clearly and describe very clearly in a manner that they accept and believe to be true. What are the things that they're complaining about in detail? What risks are they concerned about? Let's put values on those risks. Let's describe the current risk level that they see and what the risk level ought to be. What are the operational, functional business things that aren't getting done in a way that they like? Maybe it's just how much they're spending on IT. Maybe that's the question. Then you need to dig into that. You don't need a tool that's more complicated than your ears and paper or tapping it on your pad or whatever you got to ask those questions. You might need tooling, and you can get very expensive or complex tooling to record the answers in a formal way, and we recommend that if you're doing this in anger. But you should not touch the tool until you've got the answers to the questions. that you need in order to know what do they actually not like about what's going on, what information do I need to gather and structure and present back to them so that we can talk about it so that everybody understands exactly what it is that they want, what the change would look like, what it would cost, and what it would look like after it was finished. As you give them more information, their ideas will change. That's the work of the enterprise architect, is to have those conversations and make sure you include everybody, the stakeholders, not just the sponsor. And we make sure that we ask questions like, is there funding for the thing you want? Is there a willingness to take the hit of the transformation you're asking us to help you to describe and plan? Do you have someone who's going to lead this because we can't lead it? You have to lead it. You're the business. It's your project. If you want something complicated, it's going to take a while, and somebody has to be there at the front. Are you willing to do the changes to your own processes and your own organization, people, skills that you need in order to make the changes that you want? If we have 10 systems and you say they're all doing the same thing, it's obviously inefficient, and they're used by 20 different teams in the business, and you think you could probably get it down to one system that all the teams could use, we're going to include the cost of retraining all those people and maybe running in parallel for 6 months while we do the transformation. Are you ready for that? Can you do it? I was once working for a company that was asked to help them swap out their pension processing system to get in something more modern, because the system they were using was too hard to use, and they were in a strange location where you couldn't hire anybody else to help with it. We turned the work down because when they realized that they would have to run in parallel for a year, which this would mean they needed twice as many people as they had, it was impossible. There was no way to do it. It just couldn't be done. A lot of people would have pretended they could do it, taken a lot of money off them, and then everything would crash. It's not what we do. So why am I talking about this today? Because there is a theory in the world, and I hear it, TOGAF is obsolete. We don't need frameworks. We don't need cookbooks. We just do stuff because we're smart. And I've seen well-paid people who are employed as architects on big projects and big companies say stuff like that, and it's wrong. It is wrong to say that we don't need any kind of guidance or understanding about how to make changes that the business wants. Now, a smart person who is immersed in the business really understands it, also understands all the technology stuff and how everything fits together. You can find smart people who can do that, but you can't do it systematically with your team over time unless you have some kind of a pattern that you're working to so that everybody knows what's going on. Have some standard way of engaging with stakeholders, communicating with stakeholders, creating roadmaps. Stakeholders can include finance people, purchasing people, implementation people, IT operations people, vendors, business operations people. Who knows how to talk to all of those people and come up with the right solution? How do you do that? Some people can do it by the seat of their pants, but we say you actually need a pattern. That's what the TOGAF architecture development method is. It's a pattern. It's a cookbook. I'll be doing training in July, and it's a 4-day course. I have dates set for U.S. time zone starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, 4 days. And I've got dates set in European time zone starting at 9 a.m. UK time, 4-day course. If things are slow in July and you'd like to learn more about how this works, talk to me. You can call me. I'll talk to you about it, see whether it's something you like. But I want you to know what I will talk about and what I won't talk about. And what I will talk about is how do we do a better job of delivering value for the business, preserving jobs by doing good transformations instead of stupid transformations. Because if you do it badly enough, someone will get fired. Maybe a lot of people will get fired. That's not what we're here to help with, usually. That's not what I'm here to help with. I'm here to help you be successful in helping your organization be successful. So give me a call if you'd like to talk. Just go to the website and sign up, managingdigital.com/TOGAF. We'll do it. And I hope to see you in July. Thank you very much. See you next time.